right, another day, another cube here on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Pretty nice opening pack here. We have Time Walk, we have Mana Crypt. I think the consensus is that Time Walk is slightly better, especially when you can, if you have like walkers, if you have creatures, if you have ways to recur it. And the earlier you get it in the draft, the more you kind of know that those cards are at a premium. Mana Crypt can provide for some more like busted openings, but I'm going to go with Time Walk this time around. Passing Palace Jailer and some duels. Okay. Next pack here, I immediately want to look at the Narset. Narset is a great blue card that combos with the wheels in the cube. Mainly Wheel of Fortune and Time Twister. But the 6-drops are also serviceable. Natural Order is super powerful. But as long as there's a good blue card in the pack, I don't see a reason to move away from that. That being said, Time Walk is a totally reasonable card to splash in any deck. So I wouldn't fault anyone for, let's say you highly prefer playing green, taking Natural Order there and end up splashing the Time Walk is super reasonable as well. I like to play blue. Narset, Porter Veils. I remember when that card was unrestricted in Vintage. The games were not too fun. A lot had to do with like Narset, Pyroblast, and who came out on top. I didn't really enjoy that too much. So what are we looking at here? Immediately I check for the blue cards, but those aren't that great. On the other hand, as I just talked about, the Wheel of Fortune is great. Goes with the Narset. So I'm going to pick that up and hope to build a sweet Izzet deck that can maybe have some kind of pseudo combo finish. What else are we looking at here? I guess Ulamog is something I might be interested in if I get Sneak or Through the Breach. That kind of fits the colors here. Doomsday is a cool one. I really like that edition. It's like niche. It's a niche card that is fun to pick early because then all you need is like Oracle or Jace Wielder of Mysteries, and all of a sudden you have like a combo finish. But it also restricts your deck quite a bit. I do appreciate that they put Sunken Ruins in the cube and they put Urborg. Those two cards really help the Doomsday mana base. I've found. Okay, this is a cool start. I've picked 3 cards that are restricted in Vintage, and we're playing Vintage Cube, so I guess I'm playing by the rules here. Let's see what we have in store here for our 4th pick. Funnily enough, there's the Thassa's Oracle that I just talked about. I think I'm just gonna go for this card, Malcolm, Alluring Scoundrel. 2/1 flash flyer for 2 mana. When it deals combat damage to a player, put a chorus counter on it. So she starts singing, right? It's a siren, makes sense. Draw a card, then discard a card. Then if there are 4 more on it, you may play the discarded card for free. So basically this is like a tempo card, chips in, pressures walkers, and it kind of has to be dealt with at some point. Eternal Witness is great, but I already have a red card, so I'm not sure I'm supposed to. If I take the Witness, I'm going to be heavy green, heavy blue for an Narset splash wheel. That could be too much to ask. Time will tell if I'll regret that decision. Kind of a tough pick here. I can go. Do I believe I'm going to have enough artifacts for Karn to be good in the deck? I mean, I wish, but it doesn't look to be the case necessarily. I do think I can get a good dig through time deck. Let's say I get like a couple of fetches, couple of cantrips, couple of removal spells, some counters. Yeah, I like dig through time more than the average player, I would guess. Digging through time. I believe they cut the treasure cruise from the cube. I like that card as well. But I can see why it's not as great anymore as it used to. I like these new artworks for Wheel of Fortune, especially. Time Walk is not that bad either. Okay, what do we have here? We're looking at super, let's call it meat and potatoes playable in a braid, but I think this is a good time to take something that makes my mana better, and that would be Catch Ray Triumph. It's a blue-red duel, and who knows, maybe I get like Oko, Minskin Boo, Pest Infestation, some of those cards. That'll make the green worth my while as well. Huh. So now I don't really have any like great choices here, but I actually think the Tameo -3 here is insane with Time Walk, and the +1 is insane to go find it. So if I find Time Walk off of this card, cast Time Walk, then I have 2 more Time Walks in the bank. And I just picked up green fixing, so now I look like a genius. Without being one. That's very important to state. Okay, here I'll just take third path Iconoclast. That's the kind of win condition I want in a deck like this, where I'm looking to, turn some spells, etc. This looks exciting. Blue-red cheap spells, splash cameo to recur walk. And in that on that topic, I'm just gonna pick up Taiga here, just a straight up upgrade to a mountain in my deck. That's just great, right? First lightning, perfect. Early interaction to not die, so I can kind of take over the game with my big fancy plays. Okay, I like this start a lot. I mean, I put 10 cards directly into my deck that I know I'm gonna play. Like, there's no way I'm gonna get away from this, right? And 0 cards in my sideboard, so all of the packs has had something that is either like great or just good for me, right? Okay, so here it's between Shark Typhoon and Ulamog. So do I want to speculate on Ulamog with sneaking through the breach, or do I want to, let's say, mediocre card in Shark Typhoon? Hmm. I can do a little bit of gambling here. That's okay. Seething Song I actually like sometimes in decks like this. So it's between that or Friction Revoker. Okay, I'll speculate on the Seething Song. I'm fine with that. They're ready. Let's just put that into the sideboard. These 2 cards are like, too great at this point. I think I'm going to take a braid because I don't really want to work for a 4th color. I mean, 15th pick Monastery Mentor, that's disrespectful. Speaking of restricted cards in Vintage. Next pack. I immediately see the Triome that I'm always, interested in to some extent. And no great spells here. It could be a good place to take Flooded Strand. Dismember will go in any deck. Oh, I enjoy that a lot. This could be a good Flooded Strand pick. Flooded Strand goes and gets 3 colors, which is very valuable. And then maybe wheeling something like Storm-Carved Coast. I wouldn't mind that. We're trying to play Teamer bullshit, basically. Okay, this pack is tough. Force of Will, always great. Mana Vault, always great. Sheldog always great. I'm gonna take Mana Vault or Force of Will. I just don't know which one. Mana Vault. That card can go some fast stuff. Force of Will can stop a bunch of stuff. Tough pick. Mana Vault hits the deck. I'm really not sure. Here's a Time Spiral to go with my Narset versus a Daze. I think now that I just picked up Mana Vault, I'm okay to go into some of the more heavy hitters here. Passing up on Daze and Jace. Okay, that works. What do we have here? Not much, but it's honest work. I'll go for this Brainstorm. Brainstorm is just fine. Good with Iconoclast, fill in the art for dig through time. That's fine. Inferno Titan, honorable mention. That card is cool. I like that card. In some bigger red decks, which this could be with Seething Song even. It can really do a number on the aggressive decks. Okay, this is a good pack. I have Snapcaster Mage, which will combo with Time Walk. I have Mystical Tutor, which will find Time Walk and Wheel. But I think it's just a Snapcaster. It's too good with Time Walk. It's also good with Burst Lightning, Brainstorm, a Braid. Yeah, let's take that card. I actually like this Trumpeting Carnosaur quite a bit. I think it's awesome. Just great flexibility in the card. Tundra doesn't help me. I didn't pick up the Mentor. Trinket Mage goes and finds Mana Vault at the moment. Bone Crusher is like a serviceable removal spell / mid-range creature. Not too excited about that. I think I just take the Trinket Mage here. I kind of high roll that I get. Let's say I open a Mox or whatever. Oh, okay, so the infinite combo in the same pack. I'm not too interested in either. I'm just going to take Volcanic Island, improve my mana by a bunch. Like that. So right now we're speculating on Seething Song being good. I'm speculating on Ulamog being good. I'm speculating on Trinket Mage, and I'm speculating on Time Spiral. I might run it, but I really want like Hull Breacher to bolster the balanced side of Time Spiral, so to speak. So yeah, I'm looking for cheap artifact to go with Trinket. Some way to cheat Ulamog into play. Maybe even some 5-mana dragons to make Seething Song worth my while, but that's not really like top priority. It's just something to look out for. Through the Breach, Goldspan Dragon, Glorybringer, Yuri, that kind of stuff can make Seething Song better. It's actually great artwork on this Seething Song. It's one hell of a song if it makes the flames go up that high. How high is it, you ask? 5 mana high. 5 red mana high. We did a reasonable job of not letting like powerful blue cards through in the first pack, and we're actually getting decent blue this pack, but I've just had better alternatives. Some of the picks. While we wait for our next pack, thank you so much for joining me today. It means a lot. I hope you're having fun. There's a Through the Breach. Beautiful. I mean, we speculated and we got there. It's not every day you do that. Portals of Rex is insane with Tinker, obviously, but it's a bit worse, right? To speculate getting one card over speculate getting one of 2 cards. Maybe there's even more cards that make Ulamog good. I'm not thinking of. Okay, so we did wield the Stormcarved Coast. I think we're gonna take that. We even wielded the Dismember. Disrespectful. Dismember is awesome. I'm thinking about taking it. But it's probably good to improve my mana over it. Yeah, this pack doesn't have anything. I'm not even sure I want to play this Triome. I'm going to take it. I mean, I might get, let's say, one more green card, and then I'm going to be very happy with having, I guess, actually now I have 4 sources. That's actually a good number. Waterlogged Grove also helps that, but I'm actually going to take Blightsteel in case I get Sneak Attack, so I have like a little 2/2 punch, so to speak. These cards are not making my deck unless I get like perfect high tide situation. So let's just speculate on the turnabout. I put it in the sideboard directly. It's not like I really believe it's going to happen, but who knows? My mana base is definitely built well to play like a ton of islands. So if I get like, let's say, Brain Freeze, High Tide, I'm ready. So aside from the obvious, opening power, all of that jazz, on my wish list is Sneak Attack and Hull Breacher, I guess. Yeah, Sneak Attack and Hull Breacher. Do I play this card? Doubt it. Okay, next and last pack. Mind Twist is awesome. But it's a bit late for me to start looking for black mana. I think I just take the Ponder and be super happy. So what's gonna go here? Twist, Gristlebrand, Ignoble, Fetch, and from there, who knows? If I can get back the Prism, I would be super stoked, but I don't count on it. What do we have in this pack? No Sneak Attack. Thought Scour is good with Dig Through Time. It can be good with Snapcaster. I don't think I have to take mana sources. I think my mana is good, so I think I want to improve my spells. Question is, what's the best one? Thought Scour, helping out Dig Through Time, kind of like. But I also like just Probe. Probing is just better, I think. Detection Probe has been picked. So right now, it looks like my deck is not the best control deck. It's not the best combo deck either. So it's kind of, but that can also make the deck hard to play against. Where it's like, oh, do I have to guard against Through the Breach, or do I lose some small ball game against Third Path Iconoclast? What about the Draw 7 game? All of that stuff. Ooh, Mystic Confluence versus Shark Typhoon. I'm going to take Mystic Confluence here. I think the card is very good. If you can get into a situation where you're not too much behind on the board and you get to counter something, draw 2 cards, those games you're winning very often. Bobble is awesome. Shark is awesome. But I like the Confluence. Let's try and count out my playables here. So I have 6 lands already. So if we just stop the draft now, I'd have to add 13 lands. So I'm a couple of playables short. Treachery versus improving my mana, I think, is the pick here. There's also a case for Flame Slash to not get run over. Flame Slash to not get run over. Or Treachery to have some more, like, big comeback cards or big, ways to win, basically. I'm going to try and pick Treachery. That was actually a close pick. Okay, so here I'm going to take Force and Negation. Having 3 counterspells is awesome in a Draw 7 deck. Stomping Ground would obviously be great, but I think having the free counter is more important. Oh, baby. I was about to say there's the High Tide and be kind of excited. But I think I'm supposed to take Sneak Attack. And now I'm kind of sad about the Treachery, but it is what it is. So now I have Sneak Attack plus Through the Breach with 2 fatties. That's like a realistic way to... That's a realistic way to finish the game. Now I wish I had the Flame Slash over the Treachery, and that's just sometimes how the cookie crumbles. At that point, I don't think it's reasonable to bank on getting the Sneak Attack. So, yeah, who knows? It looks like Trinket Mage is not making my deck. I actually like Seething Song a reasonable amount now. We have Sneak that it's good with, Through the Breach it's good with, and Time Spiral that it's good with. Let's say I have, how much would that be? That would be like 5 lands, then I go Seething Song, Time Spiral. That's decent. Very, very late Breach here. Which I mean, it's unrealistic to get Brain Freeze at this point, in my opinion. So I think I should just take a land that improves my mana base, unless I want to go third draw 7. I don't really see a reason to do that. Botanical Sanctum improves my mana. We take that. So probably Trinket goes here. Right now, I want to have 1 more playable for the deck, and I'm ready to submit 16 lands in this setup. Let's see if we can get there. Maybe even wield a Firebolt out of that pack. I mean, Flame Slash would be better. Okay, famous last words. There's the Brain Freeze. Miscalculation I'm never gonna complain about. That's a great pickup. That's funny with the Brain Freeze. Okay, so we get to improve our mana once more. I mean, this mana is flawless. I really like that. I don't have to play any forests, obviously, and I don't think my mana is going to be bad at all. I think my mana is just going to be foolproof, basically. That's a lot of good cards here. You can argue neither of these cards was supposed to be in this pack. I mean, wow. I don't have black mana in my deck. I have very little white mana in my deck. But am I gonna play that Thought Scour? I don't really know yet. I might. Let's take the Thought Scour. Okay, so we finally bricked here. Doesn't matter too much what I do here, I think. Hill Rider. Firebolt. Okay, Firebolt. That's a good sideboard card if I play against creatures. Grim Lavamancer is not nothing. Okay. High Tide. Really don't think I play High Tide. High Tide Turnabout. Time Spiral. That's the dream, but does High Tide do anything else? 15th pick on the World Breach. Huh. No, I don't think I'm not supposed to try and get fancy here. I actually like what's going on here. So what I can do, since I have all those cantrips and a mana vault, I can just add 7 lands, play 15 lands. I think that's perfectly reasonable. So let's see here. How much? I don't need any green. I have all the green I want. How much blue do I have built in? I have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 7 blue built in. So in a perfect world, I can just add like 4 more. Let's see if that checks out. How much red do I need? How much red do I have, rather? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. That's very decent. I don't even think I need 9, but I think my mana base can take it. I don't have, like, Counterspell or Drain. Double blue is later in the game. Yeah. Okay, I'll take this. This deck looks pretty sweet. I'm looking forward to the games, and I hope you do as well. See you shortly. Hey, we're ready for round 1, playing Femur Sneak Attack, I guess? That's probably a good name for it. This opening hand has some lands and some spells. Not anything broken to do, but the fixing of Malcolm combined with just the power of the draw step, really. I'm hoping that those combined get me to the promised land. Let's see. Play Island out turn 1. Play around Wasteland to at least ensure that I get to play my Malcolm or abrade something. Ooh, okay. Let's see here if it enables some kind of reanimation. Oh, okay, it looks like opponent is in the Jeskai colors. Shock. Play Decent Pyromancer. That's a good one. Aimless Dragon hits the yard. Okay. Aimless Dragon is a good one. I'm actually considering killing the Mox for this reason, but maybe that's overreacting. I mean, if my opponent just goes Aimless Dragon, I can never get my Malcolm going. Okay. I don't like this. I try and basically make sure my opponent doesn't get to 4 mana so that this card can do something, because I kind of need it to exchange some of the bad cards in my hand, mainly being like excess lands, into something. Ooh, and it looks like it worked. Okay. I don't need any more lands here. It looked like it worked because my opponent is stuck on 2 lands now, so meaning not even 1 land will... Okay. Will let them play the Timeless Dragon. I'm gonna take a lot of damage here. I'm at 13. Hmm. What are the odds this card survives? Very, very low, I would say. Okay, the card survived. Come on, deck. Mm-hmm. So the question is, do I want to play out the sneak attack or have it be a surprise? I think I want it to be a surprise. Let's thought scour here. Okay. It's okay. That's just what happens. We play Magic the Gathering, right? Sometimes you draw a million lands in a row and you can't win. The beauty about this deck is I actually have a shot if I draw a fatty. But Malcolm doesn't help me find it because I have to attack to look, right? Here comes, oh, Palace Jailer. That's an awesome card. Palace Jailer, attack for 4, draw more cards. So I can't even draw Blightsteel here because the opponent has an untapped blocker. And I'm not even convinced Ulamog does it. The Brainstorm. Into the Ulamog I can't cast. But there are some good ones here. Huh. It's very sad that Time Walk is gone. Otherwise, digging for the walk here would be awesome. Let's see. Blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm looking for some, like, burn spell plus Blightsteel, maybe? Okay, so funnily enough here, I have a shot if let me think about this. If I treasury my opponent's only blocker and I find one more creature, I think I can win, but I think I need the ponder and the treasury to do so. So basically, I need my opponent to attack with all, play Timeless Dragon from the yard, and then have nothing else. Ponder to go look, treasury to set it up to be like the free spell, so to speak. Play Ponder. Yeah, not gonna do it, right? Shuffle your library, yes, please. S. Yeah, I think the ship has sailed here, but it's actually quite funny that. Oh, okay, there's the Lord effect that kills me. GG's. Opponent pumps his whole squad with adversary here. What did I draw? That one. Probe into nothing. Okay, so we had a way to win that game, but like let's say we had outs. And the opponent doesn't know we had those outs. I'm actually gonna cut the time spiral here. I think there's a great risk that I'm behind on board. Let's see. It's very possible it's actually the green card that I'm gonna cut here. The play a planeswalker. I just don't think that's gonna be super strong here with my deck not being very strong at defending itself. I'm trying to cut only the right lands here. I've got rid of two blue and a red. 2 blue and a red. Okay, that's also the suggested amount. Boarding Grim Lavamancer and Firebolt to, kill some small creatures. And then, yeah, just hope I get a better combination of lands and spells to play. Okay. I accept this hand. This hand is reasonable because it gets to see some cards with Ponder and Probe. Let's see how we're going to lose today. We're going to lose to... Wow, four color aggro. Wonder what I do turn 1 here. Do I open anything up if I go Mana Bolt? I guess... Oh, let's see. I think I want to Ponder. Ponder is my red source. So what happens if I go... Opponent goes Scrubland, Mother of Runes. I go Mountain, Time Walk, Storm Carved Coast, Fire Bulger, Mother of Runes, Mana Bolt, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, that's good enough for me. Shuffle your library. No. So I get to Time Walk into land drops, kill my opponent's card, and then we both get new hands. Time Walk. Firebolt. Untapped land. Mana Vault. Wheel. One floating, but I don't think I can use for anything in my deck. Pass. Have a Through the Breach. My opponent has a full grip, I have a full grip. I was a bit ahead on mana sources. Pearl. A good way to accelerate into good things. Pearl into no play. Okay. So I probably have some time here. Colossus is a good one. So I'm winning next turn. I feel like I should play Grim Lavamancer to kind of confuse my opponent about what's going on. Let's say they go, I don't know, Palace Jailer or something. I miscalculation and I win the game. Like, I want my opponent to prioritize something that isn't good enough. And now this situation becomes interesting. I think I'm supposed to not do anything. Even now. First Lightning, decent draw for the turn. I think I'm just supposed to pass here. I'm not supposed to get mana leaked or stuff like that. Miscalculated. Opponent fetches. No play. I think I'm okay in this stall. If times get tough, I can just end step Through the Breach. Let's shoot our opponent here. Get rid of some lands. Unclear if I'm supposed to Thought Scour. I'm not going to Thought Scour. Take one more damage. Keep drawing land. That's decent in this situation. So basically, I'm waiting for something like Iconoclast that's gonna force my opponent to do something, and then when the coast is clear, I can kill them with Through the Breach. I always wondered which creature is coming through the breach here. Let me know if you know. I'm getting into the lore part of Magic a bit more, like studying the art with like what's the name of the card. I'm trying to think about what did they tell the artist they wanted, stuff like that. I think it's pretty cool. Maybe the opponent is sensing that something is wrong here and they accept the chip damage from Lavamancer. I mean, I'm barely racing my own Mana Vault here. Maybe this is a good time to fire off Kicked Burst Lightning. I really want my opponent to do something soon. Ooh, Flash. I would rather not if you did that. Okay. Now I think I was about to say if my opponent doesn't have Reprieve, Reprieve target my spell, which ironically is fine here. I can negate it again, and then I can try and win. Opponent takes damage. I shoot the lava mensa here. Let's see. I'm not gonna obviously not gonna get rid of. Maybe that's the wrong one. Let's get rid of probe and under. So basically now I'm just playing as if my opponent has force a negation, which they're super unlikely to have here. Through the breach, Colossus, and at this point I think only Dismember or Solitude saves them. Okay, we force game 3. Let me just quickly study my opponent's cards here. Mother of Runes, Rampaging Raptor with Adversary and Reprieve. That makes sense, like Boros aggro, right? But all of a sudden we have Vindicate in the mix with basic islands. This looks like a not very focused aggro deck, but it also had the Flash card. Flash is insane. I was very lucky to have. I kept the Thought Scour. I thought about that a few times, like, oh, do I fire off this Thought Scour to like keep going? But I didn't really need to. I wasn't looking for anything. I was only looking for that opening, which the Burst Lightning, I guess, opened up for. That was actually a great game. Also, the opening sequence of uh, Time Walk, Firebolt, Mana Vault, Wheel of Fortune, that was kind of cool. That's a lot of game actions. Game 3, opponents on the play here. Also, just drawing Mana Vault makes things a lot easier in a lot of spots. So in this game, it was like a, what to say, it was like a bad Lotus, a very bad Lotus. But it did enable me to play out more spells in the same turn that I was supposed to. I have a tap land and then a bad cantrip, but I have some removal spells. I'm gonna keep this and hope to see a lot of lands over my next draw steps. I think this is my opponent's second Mox they show. Mountain was a good draw. The dream is my opponent plays something that dies to Firebolt. That is something that dies to Firebolt, and no lands from the opponent. Firebolt. I'll actually Thought Scour right away because of Orcish Bowmaster. Mill over a Braid, which would have been a great draw versus the Sapphire. Draw Wheel of Fortune, which is horrible. So now we're both going to be sitting here on 2 lands. Whoever finds the land first will be highly advantaged, I would say. Reprieve. Yeah, that works here because it helps my opponent dig for land. It negates me digging for land. So even though reprieving a 1-drop is not ideal, sometimes it has to be done. Mother of Runes. Okay. Opponent found the 3rd land before I did, which is unfortunate. Good news is I have an instant speed removal for the mom. And I hope this ponder finds a land that's like super crucial. Okay, these are great. So I go draw the island. No more plays this turn though. Then I have another land coming. No probe in the yard. I mean, Snapcast a probe would have been just, mean. We have the Colossus coming, meaning we're 1 land short. Timeless Dragon. It's a cool one. It puts on pressure for sure. It's a bit awkward that I wanted the card on top of my deck, but my two best plays are Narset and Dig Through Time. Which, dig into the deck. Let's see if my opponent goes Tameless Dragon. Okay. That's a good 4/4. I'm actually thinking about going Narset, not activate. Maybe that's crazy talk. Maybe what I'm supposed to do here is go Dig Through Time, take Colossus in a land, play from there. Because if I play up the Narset, it takes a beating. My opponent holds up a bunch of mana. Do I want to play the Wheel of Fortune into... I mean, I have all the great cards I need. Also, the Colossus is actually... Maybe the Colossus is bad in this spot, but then I can play a slower game and try and set up some like Mystic Confluence to clear the way situation. Looks like I'm going to take at least 8 from this dragon. Let's see what the opponent has up their sleeve here. I have Force and Negation in the deck. I'm trying to remember my deck list here. Gideon. Leaving the Firebolt in the yard, I'll try and dig through time in response. See what's going on here. Okay, these cards are great. So I can go Mana Vault, Narset, Wheel. I'm probably supposed to do that. Mana Vault. Do I just take the Time Walk as a free roll, or is that like wasted value? Is that card going to be good later? Let's see here. I go Mana Vault, I tap my Mountain, go Mana Vault. Yeah, then I have enough mana for the draw 7. I haven't made a land drop yet, but I will bank on the 7. I'll bank on the draw 7 to give me that. Maybe I'm supposed to take the Ulamog because I actually want these cards reshuffled. Does that make any sense? And I guess if I draw the land... No, now I can even... Huh. So I have to make sure my play's better than just Ulamoging my opponent. Maybe Ulamoging my opponent is just what the doctor ordered. If I Ulamog my opponent, I'm going to attack for 10. Opponent has to sack 4 permanents. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's very hard to turn down. Huh. This is funny. So I get to go Mana Vault, Through the Breach, Ulamog. Do I have anything else? Mana Vault, Through the Breach, Ulamog. That's 1 mana left. I think that's a very reasonable play. Opponent can't take the damage, so they have to block. If they take the damage, they lose to Flashback Firebolt. Okay, that's a good play. Let's do that. I think I'm supposed to Brainstorm first. Haven't played a land. Huh. So Ulamog is gonna shuffle. So these cards, unless my opponent has Bow or Path or Solitude, I guess. So which cards is it that I don't want? I think the answer to that question is Icon and Land. So play land, play Mana Bolt, play Through the Breach, Ulamog. Plow or Solitude is devastating. My opponent doesn't have either. And now I'm getting rid of 4 permanents plus the Knight token. My opponent cannot go to 2 life here. Then I believe I'm winning the game. Because of Firebolt. Opponent sacrifices Gideon and 4 mana sources. Is that right? Wow. Opponent has to block. So now I'm playing Timeless Dragon and 2 lands versus... Oh, the Firebolt got shuffled. Okay, I mean, that's not super likely to matter here because my opponent did block. But that's actually an oversight on my part. I go to 11 here. The opponent... Can the opponent... Oh, no. Reprieve is gone. I draw into the Ulamog again, like the rule says. Now I'm gonna pass and most likely bounce that dragon and draw 2 cards. Trust my deck to come up with something that can beat my opponent from this stage. Ooh, that's a nice response. Orcish Bowmasters. So I get to take 3 damage here. I find another Through the Breach like a champ. Even alongside Force and Negation. But that's not going to help me on my turn, though. Nice Bowmaster. I go to 7 here. 7 life. And I'm not going to untap. Had I known I had drawn the land, I could have untapped to save 1 damage. But this is also fine. Play that. Play Through the Breach. Ulamog. Wow. Or Solitude is there this time. Okay, that's cool. So I gain 10 and we play on. Sick. Okay. This is a game. This is definitely a game. The opponent got Ulamog this game and we're still playing. That's pretty cool. Magda. Magda. So funnily enough, if I go Narset Wheel, nah, that can't be right. But I was about to say I'm still alive if I do that. I'm gonna take the damage here. Well knowing I don't have infinite time. Snapcaster. And probably do some work here. I only have 6 mana though. For some reason I thought I had 7. Oh. So let's go Narset Burn Spell. Narset Sneak Attack. Probably take that. I'm curious what the opponent does here, because leaving home 2 toughness is kind of a beating here. Oh, this is Raptor. Raptor is strong. How much damage is this? 6 plus 4? We'll play this. Let's see. Do I want to prevent the most damage, or do I want to... Let's see. If an opponent does 4, 6, 9, I lose to Bolt. That's when if I block the Bowmaster. I think I'm supposed to block the 3/3. If I do that, and my opponent has... this is good. Okay. So block the 3/3 to save the most damage. Narset is gone. I go to 4, so now I only lose to... Actually, I should just untap. I'm not supposed to lose to what's it called? Fire Blast here. I'm supposed to untap here. Untap and walk. Guess I play that. It's probably better. Do I have counter backup? Yeah, now I have counter backup. That was a great match. Play sneak attack. Go Blightsteel. And that'll do it. Wow, what a great match. The opponent did a really good job here. I felt like I had very good tools, but then the opponent kind of stopped me cold with Bowmaster plus Solitude combination, like the odd combination I didn't really expect at that point. But yeah, in the end, getting to draw like a vast majority of her deck and cheating big fatties into play took it down. That was a great match. Great showcase of the deck. All right, that was round 1. See you guys for the next one. Alrighty, round 2 is upon us. I'm still playing my Isid Splash Tameo deck, hoping to draw Time Walk like I have right now. Seal of Removal. Turn 1, yeah, we're on the draw here. Not too scared about Seal of Removal. I'm trying to think about what I should do with my Time Walk here. I'm going to wait and try and get one more Malcolm attack in, or I'm just going to play straight away. I think I'm going to get one more Malcolm attack in, ready to be dead wrong about that one. Another Jeskai deck. Let's see what Malcolm can do. Seal of Removal gets sacrificed. Okay. Probably supposed to play this Narset as soon as possible, thanks to, the board being clear. Miscalc I like, but Mana Vault also enables my Mystic Confluence to be insane, so I'm gonna go for that. Opponent's on draw go plan, which is kind of unusual. Good draw there. I actually like playing Time Walk first, because then I'll know if it resolves when I'm activating my Narset. Huh. Treachery is less good when the opponent knows about it. Ponder kind of digs me towards brokenness. I'll take the Ponder out of that one, and then before my turn, I'll play the Malcolm out. I mean, that card works for me. Wheel of Fortune. Do I have counter backup? That's what I want to know. If I play Mana Vault out, I have 7 mana. That's 1 short. Okay, so I'm not going to gamble on that just yet. I do like attack with this card, however. Brainstorm. I might discard that. Is that crazy to discard Brainstorm? It is a little crazy. Let's go Mana Vault. Ponder. These cards are not good. Third Path is good, but I'm going to pass here with Mystic Confluence up. I don't have to go anywhere here. Okay. So my opponent had a super weak draw. If this card just crushed my opponent, that would be super lucky. I didn't see anything like worth noting. Just colors. Probably some controlling deck, but my deck is pretty well set up to be, serviceable against all strategies. I'm just gonna submit, try again. Mana Vault and Time Walk. Who would have known those cards were good? Who would have guessed? Let's see if the Spiral comes into play this league. Would be pretty awesome. Okay, I like this hand. Would be nice to draw some spells over the next couple of turns, so I don't have to, you know, pitch my free value. Brainstorm, Ponder. Yeah, perfect. Like that draw. It's both a good card on its own and pitches to negation, and triggers third path if we get there. Opponent fetches. Catch Ray Triumph out of the deck. So now we've seen 4 colors, but I mean, I play Catch Ray Triumph even if I sideboard out of that plan. The green plan? Okay. Deep-Root Wayfinder. Some Strip Mine shenanigans is about to go down. I play third path. Let's see what my opponent's working with. Draw Ulamog. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. So most likely I get to Force of Negation and Oko. Since my opponent is missing land drop, I am going to block. Well, not missing land drop, but they don't have any more left, I should say. Huh, Currency Converter over Oko while keeping up counter magic. Got it. Okay, I like this play from the opponent. It's actually quite annoying. I will attack. Opponent activates Currency Converter, which is unfortunately a way for me to lose. Like this draw go game, I have a Dig Through Time, I have a Malcolm, like I have some stuff, but I'm not sure I'm favored in that situation. The opponent's draw last game was just atrocious. Like when you, wow, discarding Oko. That's, yeah, oof, crazy. Really? Dashed Ragavan. So if I miscalculate that, my opponent taps out. It's actually a good miscalc target, right? Because if my opponent pays, it doesn't do anything because I get the 1/1. And no, yeah, this is not a good counterspell either. Because I got what I wanted, basically. Which is make sure the Ragavan doesn't hit me this turn. So let's see. Oko's gone. Loose Focus is gone. I'm going to let my opponent bring back that land. Is it to hand or in a play tap? In a play, okay. Fair enough. I want to get to that dig through time here. And I want to Ulamog my opponent out of this game. The opponent has a 2/2 in the bank with Currency Converter. So the Iconoclast's role right now is basically buy time until Ulamog gets here. First Lighting is not a bad one. That might mean I'm attacking here, actually. Getting in there with third path, keeping back Soldier for Ragavan. I get another token, put a card in my yard for dig through time, this and that. That was like a decent turn cycle or two for me. My opponent played a very loose focus in response to me playing a very loose miscalculation, I guess. So why don't my opponent just pay for the Ragavan there? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna force a negate expressive iteration for multiple reasons. It being a good card is the biggest one. Acceptable. Then my opponent has Ragavan and one unknown card. And I was ready to triple block there. And now I can cast Dig Through Time. Time Walk. Sure. Now I can go Time Walk, Malcolm. Do I want to get in for the 2 chip damage here? Probably. Probably. Get my opponent to 9. Play Malcolm before my turn. Untap. Let's Dig Through Time. I guess maybe I should have attacked first. Okay, that happens. I think I was supposed to attack first there. So let's see. I don't know anything about the opponent's hand. I just exiled the Time Walk. So I can go, if I take untapped land, a Braid, I can kill my opponent's creature. Get in for a bunch. Maybe that's just how you play. Braid and Coast. Get rid of the last cards. 3 damage. Get in with the boys. I think that's reasonable. I think what I should have done was attack first to put one more card in the yard, so I'd have one more mana to work with, or leave the Snapcaster in the yard. Well, leave the Time Walk in the yard rather, so I could Snapcaster later. Draw, discard. Probably just get rid of the land here, right? So I get in for 7 here. Opponent's on 2 life. They'll crack. No, they'll not crack. They will loot using currency converter, discarding Ragavan. So now they have a 2/2 in the bank, and they need some serious card, like, not even, I don't even think Fortheolingus does it, yeah. That's over, okay, I mean, another showcase of, like, how insane Time Walk is. Time Walk represents mana, it represents damage, it represents card draw. What a beating. Okay, status is we're 2-0, so next match is for the trophy. So, yeah, that'll be exciting. See you guys there. Okay, welcome back. We're here for the finals of the Vintage Cube Draft, the trophy match. This hand is keepable because of Malcolm. Malcolm lets me, cycle 1 or 2 crappers into hopefully real magic cards. I don't want these 2 guys at this stage. The cool thing is that I have to remember, Blightsteel shuffles only itself. Ulamog shuffles the whole yard. So let's say I'm halfway to Dig Through Time and I shuffle my own yard. That would be terrible. Opponent leads on Mana Vault. It's always a tough card to beat, as my previous 2 opponents have learned. What's it gonna be? Ursa Saga. That's a sick one. Talisman. Sure. Top. Okay, so this is a great Ursa Saga deck. I'm a magic expert. I just analyzed my way to that conclusion. Play Malcolm. Need some really good hits here. First Lightning. Attack. Come on, baby. Time Walk. Narset. Seething Song. Seething Song could be insane later. So, well, if I draw Breach or Sneak. Play Island. I'm on deck. You can do it. Sneak Attack or Breach. I think I need them relatively soon. There is a chance that Manavolt and Sensei's Divining Top are the only targets for Saga. So in that case, I would only, in quotation marks, need to beat the big boys. Let's see what the opponent follows up with here. Not that they need much for this to be impressive, but sometimes when you play Cube, when it rains, it pours. Prismatic Ending? Pentad Prism. Okay, that's kind of a... Ooh. Nice. So nice you gotta see it twice. That's awesome. That's how you play Magic. Huh. That's not a Sneak Attack or Breach. I think it could be too late, actually. Don't even think this, if I find it now, it's good enough, but... Mana Vault. So I discard one card. Let's say it's Taiga for sake of argument. Then I go Flooded Strand, play Mana Vault. Can I then dig through time on my opponent's next end step? Fetch in the yard is 2 cards. 2 cards in the yard. Then dig through time is this 6-drop. Does that work? I think it does work. I have to discard. I don't have to. I should discard Taiga or Burst Lightning. Okay. Play that. Play that. Pass. Hope to not lose. And then I have to find like Colossus plus Sneak Attack, I think. If I find Colossus plus Sneak Attack, maybe my opponent loses. But it's a big maybe. When it goes to 10 there, that helps a bit. Those are some big boys. Those construct tokens. I think I'm supposed to Burst Lightning my opponent's life total on end of turn if given the option. Not 100% sure on that one. There's also something to be said about if I go, let's see, Seething Songs, yeah, something like take Time Walk and Sneak or Breach, top deck a land also works. Kind of. Also, I think if I... Oh, Retrofitter. That is an annoying permanent because of how Ulamog works with Annihilator. I'm ready to take 8 here. Faithless Looting. You bet. The thing is, my opponent has too much mana to find something like meaningless, quote-unquote meaningless, to spend their time on here. Discard 2 Swamps. Like, that's the dream, right? Your opponent goes, like, play out some Signets, or, sorry, some Talisman, and not much else. Okay, so go for that. First lightning. Dig through time. Other marbles. These cards are good, but probably not good enough, are they? It's so sad to go land treasury. It's not really a play. Huh. Take Snapcasters, somehow find Time Walk? What if I go Snapcaster Thought Scour? Then that Thought Scour has to hit Time Walk. And then what? Then maybe I'm supposed to take Mystic Confluence, bounce those two creatures, and draw. The thing is, taking a land here is so weak, but I might have to do it unless I believe my draw step and Malcolm attack will find me a land. If I Mystic Confluence those two creatures, I'm playing against more or less only Retrofitter Foundry. But how am I then winning from there? It's something to do with finding sneak attack, I guess. Okay, we try this. I take the land, which is so sad. So the silver lining about the land was if I draw this one, I can just discard it to Malcolm. So it's actually the second land that kind of gets me here. Oh, I didn't play a land out. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was an obvious mistake. I was supposed to let my opponent do all of this, even like have tapped everything, and then bounce these three, get in for damage. Oh. I missed the fact that my opponent could get to that point right now. That's terrible. Bounce to draw. Wheel. Okay. This game is funny. I wish I would have done that, because then my opponent's at 6. I dig a little deeper, and next turn I'm threatening playing a spell for free with Malcolm. That's definitely the play a good player would make. Now my opponent's at 4 life. 2 cards in hand. They played a land before looting. Maybe because they have an insane play. Coveted Jewel. Okay, I mean, it's like tap all your mana to draw some cards. I realize this is a 3 mana. This is like a Lotus and Ancestral in one. But filling up the opponent's hand when I have Teething Song draw 7 is not the worst. 3 mana. Lightning Greaves. Make a 1/1 and attack. Is that it? Or make a 1/1 and stay back. Stay back is probably the best against Jewel and being at 4 life. Yeah, about that. Sneak attack. And activate. Ulamog. The attack doesn't look very good right now, huh? Draw a card from top. Wow. I don't think I'm supposed to win that game. That was the opponent's game to lose. Attacking there. I don't like that. Getting in for one damage, but you lose to all haste creatures in the world. Okay. On the draw here with a couple of lands, a cantrip. If I find my third land, I have Snapcaster cantrip. I have Treasury to play towards. Okay. Yeah, this is very tough to beat. I've already proven that. I guess I've proven that it's possible to beat. But yeah, that opening is insane. It looks like a real vintage deck. 5 mana turn 2. Wonder what I'm killing here. Which is funny. I'm gonna try and kill the creature. I have no idea if that's correct. I'm gonna let my opponent have all the mana in the world, but also, a little bit of pressure on the life total. I just figured, okay, my opponent's gonna get like Mana Vault or whatever here anyway, so Retrofitter it is. So if I kill the Mana Crypt, my opponent goes for Mana Vault, most likely. Play Ponder. Okay, these are good for later. And I like the land. Do I like the Probe and the Dig? Probably not, actually, because Probe and Dig. I think I'm gonna go Snapcaster a Braid on my own graveyard. Do I want to mill over Dig Through Time and Probe? Probably not. Probably want those guys in the mix. 3 mana. That card is awesome. I love Gut. Gut with token creation. Beautiful. I'm not sure I can win here. I actually think I made a mistake. Yeah, I wish I... What I should have done was fetch, Saw Scour myself, hope to hit Burst Lightning before attacks to kill the Gut. That would have been insanely clutch. But yeah, here I'm just getting smoked. I'm going to take how much here? 9? 10? Yeah. That card is awesome. Love me some Gut. Opponent plays land. I'm gonna Snapcaster Abrade the Gut. Is that correct? I think so. Snapcaster Abrade. Now I have a blocker for the big one. And I can have like some magic draw of Treasury plus Confluence get there. That card is dead, and so am I. Okay. Fair enough. I failed to withstand the onslaught here. My play next turn was Treasury, like the Menace dude, or doesn't really matter. Maybe the artifact. Yeah, probably the Menace dude, right? Then I can Confluence something, draw some more cards. But yeah, that was a tough game. Very tough game. Let's see what that deck can do without a Mana Crypt in the opener. Then I think I have a shot. If they do have Mana Crypt, I need like some of my absolute top shelf draws to take it home. Game 3 for the trophy. This is not the best hand, right? I need a good brainstorm for this to be a winner. I'm thinking about if I should brainstorm on my first turn, like right now. I do have some rewards, but I also think I have too many punishments. Okay. Hmm. Now I need to hit Mountain Abrade for the Brainstorm to be good right now. But I think that's worth it. I'm sure there are other combination of cards that makes it worth it. The thing is, I need a red mana to win the game, and if I Brainstorm now, I only look at 3 cards instead of 4. Or even 5 if I postpone it even more. But I think I have to do it. Yeah, this is too much pressure. I think I have to try and push the envelope and find, like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm supposed to find here. Most likely I'm just outclassed. But what if I can find something like a land time walk, something along those lines? Like, that's mostly it. So I'm not really playing these red cards out anytime soon. Am I supposed to get the Malcolm going, or am I supposed to have treachery? Oh. If I time walk now, it doesn't really do anything. I basically just time walk to clear the top of my deck. I think I'm gonna play a bit. You can call it risky, but I think it's also risky to not do it. I want to get the Malcolm into play and then time walk to see if I can spike some good mana vault turn. Also, I want to just chip away at my opponent's life total while looting. Also, on the off chance my opponent goes, let's say, Mana Vault, Coveted Jewel, past the turn or whatever. I have a shot. Lightning Greaves. Let's see what that card does. Sometimes it does a lot, sometimes it does nothing. Opponent has 3 mana to work with. Monolith. That's a lot of mana. I'm super scared about next turn. Oh, okay. The opponent has a play already. E. Untap, so that's 4 mana. Yeah, that's a really great deck the opponent has there. The opponent has a ton of mana next turn. I honestly don't remember what they can use all that colorless mana for. I don't believe I've seen it yet. Okay, so also conveniently enough, the Lightning Greaves laughs in the face of my treachery. So now at least I get 2 hits in with that card. Let's draw a land. Come on, that would be great. It's not a land, but it is something. I'm going to discard the Burst Lightning. I don't really believe in that card. Let's see if we can hit a land drop. No land drop. One that has infinite mana. Okay. One that has infinite mana with the Zerda, which is awesome. I'll time walk here. I don't really want to play Wheel of Fortune against that deck. Okay. Attack with Malcolm. Then I have some big decisions. Time Spiral. But that's like more or less the same as Wheel of Fortune. Except it pitches to Force of Will. That's a big difference. That being said, I think my plan right now is develop Mana Vault. Next turn, get ready to Seething Song, Wheel of Fortune, and try and live the dream. With that being said, I think I just discard the Treasury. Get ready to pitch Spiral. Yeah. I think that's the play. So that means that next turn I have 4, 5, 6, 8 mana. I go Wheel of Fortune, that's 5 mana floating. And that's enough for Sneak plus Activate or Breach plus Fatty. I think that's how I win this game. Huh. Oh, okay. Yeah, the opponent plays Zerda, and now they have infinite mana. Which I can't do anything about. I can interact in case the opponent has a non-creature spell, right? So if they just have Ballista on top of their deck, this game's over. And it doesn't really look good, right? Walking Ballista, is there anything else that kills me? Something like Emrakul would also be devastating. Look at the top 3. So they didn't have the card they wanted. They just made the mana like ahead of schedule in case they need it, I guess. Okay. 10 mana in the pool. Jar. Okay, so we're in this game. I get to force him negate a memory jar instead of, losing the game. My opponent has Sensei's Divining Top on top of the deck. I have to give this a little more thought, I think. Sensei's Divining Top gives my opponent access to 3 more cards. So tough. Please don't let me draw one of the cards I actually need to win the game. Wow. Oh boy. Abrade. Abrade the Basalt Monolith. Is that a play? Maybe that's a... No. Ah. So tough. That complicates things a lot because Abrade on the Basalt Monolith makes it so that my opponent does not have infinite mana, right? Right, guys? Yeah. Opponent draws top, looks at the top. So now all of a sudden... Yeah, I think I've talked myself into one more turn of this. Please let me know if this is terrible logic. Mystic Confluence. Mystic Confluence. Mystic frickin' Confluence. Okay. What happens if I go discard the Wheel of Fortune? Second main phase, tap Mana Vault and Spiral Bluff. Draw 3 cards off Mystic Confluence. Abrade my opponent's Basalt Monolith. Play from there. Huh. Draw 3. This is so tough. I really don't know if this is a strong play. Okay. Maybe I'm supposed to play this land so I have the cycle option. And then I'm gonna braid the Basalt. I don't know about this. Just so... Maybe I'm too scared. I could have gone... Let my opponent top. then go Seething Song, Wheel, look at one third of my deck, try and put together a 2+2 combo. Yeah. Super tough. When it looks with the top, then draws, then untaps. So let's see how that works. Untap, opponent draws a fresh card. Opponent draws 2 fresh cards. Right? No. No, the opponent maybe stacked it wrong. Maybe. Because they drew the top and one more. I'm not sure what they wanted to, but... Mana Crypt is still doing some work. Saga is obviously sick. Top gets into play again. Yeah. Thought Scour. I think I'm supposed to Thought Scour my opponent here. Looking for something insane to do with Malcolm. How does this work? Draw a card, then discard a card. If there are 4 or more, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen here. Let's cycle this, see what happens. Okay. I don't even know if this works. I mean, it should, right? Draw a card, then disc. If there are more, you may cast the card, but this is like a replacement effect. I think there's a chance I get screwed here by how this card works. Whenever Malcolm, Alluring Scoundrels use combat damage to a player, put a chorus counter on. Okay, draw a card, then discard a card. If there are 4 or more chorus counters on Malcolm, you may cast the discarded card without paying its mana cost. So that shouldn't really... It shouldn't really matter whether it gets shuffled. It's just... Maybe I'm supposed to cast a Dig Through Time to set up, like, 2 brutal things on... Yeah, let's... I don't know. There's Tamiyo. So the question is, does Tamiyo plus Time Walk win the game? If I go Tamiyo land, play land, next turn, play Tamiyo, recur walk, then get the Blightsteel into play, my opponent will have to block, chum block, with their 1 construct. Oh boy, this is a tough game. Then on that Time Walk turn, I can dig for, like, what's left in my deck. I have to check here. Then what can I dig for that kind of wins me the game? Is Snapcaster Mage gone? No, it's not. Okay. So I think I'm going to go Tamiyo land. Put the rest on bottom in any order. Sure. Opponent's at 7. I pass. Ugh, this game is sick. So my plan now is take a hit, go Tamiyo Time Walk, attack, see if I get a free Blightsteel or however that works. Or Icon. I mean, maybe regular damage is more important. So much insane stuff here. Then get my free spell. Oh, my opponent has haste here? Ooh, do I just lose? I take 8? Didn't think about that, but maybe it's a blessing in disguise. It's so sad I don't know how it works with Blightsteel. So if my opponent deploys... No, then I might have to untap my Mana Vault here. Later on a Time Walk turn. Mountain. Don't do it, opponent. Just attack for 8. I remember my opponent had a Flame Slash, which actually does a lot here. My opponent knows I resolved a Dig Through time. Let's see how much they're planning for Disaster. I'm at 3 life. This is super awesome game. That's very worthy of a cube final. Draw a card with top. Untap. Hopefully just to grind a little bit. So 1 card plus the top, okay. Top and play. Opponent has an extra card in hand. Opponent passes. Oh my god. Let's see if this even works. So there's the Snapcaster Mage. I think that does it. I think I just have straight up lethal now. So I go Tamiyo Time Walk. Yep, that does it. Wow. That was sick. So because of with a little help from Mana Crypt, the chip damage added up. So I'll go Tamiyo, get back Time Walk. Really want to know if I attack with Malcolm and I can play the Blightsteel. You guys need to let me know, because I wanted to test it out this game, but also didn't really want to test it out, if you know what I mean. So my plan here, if I don't draw the nuts here, is, and my opponent missed the flip, is attack. Maybe go like Icon, then second main phase, Tamiyo get a token, Time Walk get a token, and that's lethal right there. And if I needed to, let's say my opponent kept back a lot of blockers or whatever, I could either go for the Colossus, or I could go plus Tamiyo, name like the best card in my deck, which most likely would be Snapcaster Mage at that point, and then Time Walk once more. Then this loyalty goes to 3, and then Time Walk once more. Like, I had a lot of Time Walks up my sleeve there. that was an awesome match. I can't believe we beat the Mana Crypt deck, but I mean, my deck was strong as well. So yeah, sometimes you get the job done, sometimes you don't. Nice little cube trophy here for you guys' viewing pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me, and I guess I'll be back for some more cubes soon. Hope to see you there. Bye, guys.